So in my mind, I knew that I was going to become a medical doctor. How many of us want to be medical doctors? It's not going to be long. Just a few years from now, we are going to know whether we are going to become medical doctors. I'm not talking for long, so stay with me. So I got into the secondary school, and I became a science student, and I still getting good grades. And I thought that definitely I'll go into medical school and become a medical doctor. Then it got to a point that I lost interest. I started doing all manner of things, enjoying life with my friends, and not paying attention to my books. So my grades started becoming funny. When I say becoming funny, I wasn't the top student anymore, but I started dropping. And as a pastor, I think I'm allowed to say, I pray that your grades will not get low. Your grades will be good all the time. Then I wrote my own ordinary level. Most times you go for Form 5. I wrote my own level. One of our mothers is smiling. I can relate. I wrote my own level. I was supposed to study physics, chemistry, and mathematics for sixth form. But I knew that I couldn't. I just knew within myself that I wouldn't have time to study. Alongside, I was playing football. So football started becoming more of my interest. To cut a long story short, I ended up as a business student. Then I went to the Polytechnic and became an accountant. But anytime I go to work, I'm not happy. I was never happy. I was working with National Disaster Management Organization in the Volta region, but I was never happy when I went to work. So I started thinking. I wake up and going to work was difficult for me. Then one day, a friend of mine who had seen me act when we were in the Polytechnic invited me to an audition. Because I was in the Volta region, I grew up in Greater Accra region, and it was pretty boring. So I went for an audition, and I was given 3 different roles in one film. 3 different. Then my regional coordinator said, "You are good, let's start a drama group." To cut a long story short, I ended up at the School of Performing Arts, University of Ghana. It's the only place that they say silence, lectures in progress, while you hear drumming and dancing. How can noise making be silence? They are making the noise, but they're asking you to be silent. So that is how I ended up becoming a performer, but in this side of the world would usually say. So I majored in radio, television, and video production. Now I'm sharing this with you because some of you may have to do certain things because you have been asked to do so by your parents. Some of you will grow up and get to a place where you have to take hard decisions on what you want to do. Now listen, when I was a science student, I was managing my grades. When I became a business student, I managed to become an accountant. I was graduated till I became a deputy regional accountant at the University of Ghana to the School of Performing Arts. This is what I want to leave with you. Whatever you get a chance to do it to your very best. Whatever abilities you are given, you have to shape it ended up where I am currently. I'm in my last year to become a doctor. Listen, I wanted to be a medical doctor. But at that time you would say I want to be what? A doctor. But when I realized that I can do it like this, I'm a performer. Can you hear me? I learned to do this as well. So whatever you put your energies to, whatever you put your mind on, that you would allow yourself to go through the process, you can become the very best in. By next year, I will be called, if I happen to come here, my introduction will be Dr. Kenneth Fiati. The doctor I wanted to become. Because I put hard work in whatever I found myself in, I will be called that doctor because I obtained it through hard work. So my advice to you is that don't look down on yourself. Don't think that you cannot do anything in life and become the best in what you do. I am able to face people like I'm facing you today because I went through the rudiments and training to become a performer. I used to be very shy. I am still a shy person. But something comes over me when I have to perform. But I'm able to face congregations. I'm able to read my Bible and do what we call analysis and interpretation and preach the truth in the Word of God. Why? Because in the school of performing arts, I was taught how to take things and bring meaning into them and relay it to people. So you need to know what you want to do with your lives. And you need to work hard at becoming that person that you want to become in life. And I want you to know that you can achieve anything you set your mind on and put in the effort to become the very best thing. Finally, I want to advise you that if you are first in class, know that there is still a place called up. No matter how high you climb, there is still space at the top that is called up. So don't say that because I'm the best in my class, I'm the best in a particular course, I can relax. If you relax, you will end up like me when my grades were getting bad as a science student. But if you put in the effort and continue working hard, there's nothing that you cannot become. Today, as in today, if you ask the person who contacted me, I was supposed to be in a meeting to draft policies for the creative sector in Ghana. So it means that because I have allowed myself to go through the process and learn hard and work hard, I also matter in a higher capacity. My prayer is that you will also grow in whatever God will lead you to do, whatever God will allow you to do, so that you will be useful in the things that you do. I want to show you something. Can I get help? And with that, I am done. Where God tell me, say, make a comeback for this life. I go tell him straight, God, I don't want to come back into this world again. Oh. Then maybe God will ask me, Patrick, why don't you want to come back into this world? Hey, quick, I will tell him, say, God, every day I dey wake up 4:30 in the morning. I will go for garage. I will go wash master in car. Then from there, I will wash madam in car. From there, I will come inside this hall where I will come to see this hall as we finish up. Then all right, so once you are clapping, thank you very much. God bless you. And may you become the very best in everything you do.